Can you speak to tap water just briefly?
Yeah.
That's yeah. What's
Whether
in
it's
it?
good or bad. My friend, Dr. Jess Pietras, calls tap water infertility water,
Oh.
because there are things in it that in most states and counties and cities do contribute to infertility. So there's chemicals in there you can look up, at least in the US, it's ewg.org has a tap water database, and you can look up what carcinogens and what toxins are in your local tap water. And some people talk about chlorine or fluoride or stuff like that. And those are not so great for your thyroid and potentially other things as well, to consume too much of. You need a little bit of it for hard teeth, but it's not really great to have an excess of some of those halogens, those and the periodic table elements in your body. But tap water is something we should be grateful for because we have clean water, and that's extended the life expectancy of most humans. It's really a huge blessing just to not live in a drought and to have water. But at the same time, the tap water is not healthy. It really is not. There are maybe a few towns or cities that do the correct, like reverse osmosis and add in minerals and do like how they're supposed to, but it's not a natural process. And the general philosophy is the closer you get to nature, the farther you get from dis-ease or disease. That's a Dr. Joseph Arena quote. But he and other people promote either reverse osmosis or really good charcoal filters or really good distillation methods. I'm not a huge fan of distilled water, but a good like Berkey or charcoal multi-stage filter and or some reverse osmosis filters are a really good way to clean the water of a lot of those toxins that are in there. It's not a conspiracy. It's just right there. The evidence is hiding in plain sight, but it's really hard to think, why would my government allow cancer water to get into my children? Why would they allow, Roundup on the agricultural products? And unfortunately, it's because of profit. It's because it's a lot cheaper to have water that's not perfectly clean. It's a lot cheaper to spray food with stuff that's not perfectly clean. And ideally, they're doing it to, make better crops that don't get eaten by bugs that then feed more people. So there's less famine. But we're living in a day and age now where we're not really going through drought in most places. We're not in a food desert. So we have to start to have more conversations around having cleaner food, cleaner water, and ways in which our towns and cities can actually hydrate our people without making them sick long term.
Are there other things? Like tap water being one of them. I never second guessed tap water through most of my life. I never second guessed birth control. It was just kind of what you took as a young woman. And so there are these things that are kind of pushed on us as humans, right? They're sold to us. But the narrative, we just believe in something, I guess, the government, the healthcare system, all that kind of stuff. But that's really coming to the light. But are there other things that come to mind of what we've been told we should be doing that are actually quite harmful to us?
Yeah, there's so many. I think birth control is a big one. People just are not, it can be a profoundly helpful tool, but not one that's in most people's best interest in the long term. We can go down so many different rabbit holes, but birth control's a big one. Tap water is a big one. Even something as simple, people don't know about LED lights or fluorescent lights is really not good for our brains or our eyes or our body. People think LED is better than fluorescent, which it is, but it's still not a natural light. It's still flickering all the time, which creates more, you can't see it, but sometimes if you look at LED lights with a phone or a slow camera, you'll see that it's flashing because it's constantly flickering. So that's more stimulating for your brain, which creates more stress. There's things even like our phones are not good for us. Holding a phone close to your body and looking something within arm's length is actually more stress inducing for your body. So looking at a screen, that's if you like hold your arm out, I guess, if your screen is within arm's reach and you're converging in your eyes, converging on a point, that's going to create more stress. Where if you look into the horizon, like a sunrise or a sunset, or go for a walk, or you look far away, that's actually going to help your parasympathetic nervous system to relax. So something as simple as taking little tech breaks to look far away can be very helpful. But there's really so many things that we're often misled. I think just food quality is a big one. And even in the natural health care field, there's a lot of misinformation about what's truly healthier versus not healthy. I don't think if people are low on funds that they need to eat 100% organic, non-GMO, pesticide-free farmers market. But there's a belief that meat is bad. There's a belief that vegan is bad. There's a belief in a lot of these things. But usually the truth is not extreme. The truth is just getting back to nature. And so we're doing a lot of synthetic things that are brand new, whether it's technology, whether it's food technology and food chemistry and ingredients. The big thing is processed food. So whether or not you eat organic, just look at the ingredients of what you're eating. If you're going to give me a choice between something that's like organic, non-GMO, but it has natural flavors and xanthan gum and, some ascorbic acid as a preservative. And then on the other hand, you have some non-organic blueberries. I'm going to choose the non-organic blueberries because I can eat every ingredient. It's just a blueberry. But if you have something that's organic, that's clean, that's like $90 for a bag of this magical elixir powder, and it has like erythritol and stevia and monk fruit and all these artificial things, I'm not going to just eat monk fruit. It's disgusting. I'm not going to eat natural flavors. That's gross. So like each ingredient should be something you can eat. So we're kind of getting diluted by green pharmacy into saying the pill can solve the problem or the organic supplement, the expensive thing can solve the problem. That's not always true. So yeah, there's so many different rabbit holes, but I'd say technology and screens, so like phones, is the biggest thing now that most people are spending I think it's like over 6 or 7 hours a day looking at their phone, that they don't realize that that's increasing their stress quite a lot, much more than a newspaper would. The flashing light or just like the changing lights and the stimulation of TikTok or reels or short videos is just very much creating a bad dopamine and sympathetic fight, flight, freeze, stress response for our brains.
So would that be creating inflammation in the body?
It would, yeah, unfortunately, because the stress response creates more inflammation. Most people aren't aware. They think inflammation comes from food or toxins or physical trauma, but stress is the number one driver of inflammation.